Hello and welcome to another Glenn Maney Talks Chelsea. Sorry I didn't do one after the Zenit game. Been a heavy old week work wise. But I'll do one today. I've just been on social media for 5 minutes, and those of you that follow me on Twitter will know that I came off. I can't stand listening to that, because at the end of the day, today it was Chelsea 3, Leeds United 2. It wasn't pretty, frustrating at times. We're not in a good place. We've got two defensive midfield players who really we rely on for Tuchel's style of football. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I thought had a decent game going forward, but he's not a defensive midfielder. He's been asked to do a job in there that he's not really used to. I thought we were lucky, to get away with a win, but at the end of the day, a win's a win, and if you can win dirty, if you can win. Talking of dirty, Leeds were pretty dirty today, weren't they? And they don't change. You can change the personnel, but the actual spirit of that club is just filth. So we had Mendy in goal, we had Aspie, Silva and Rudiger in the middle. We had Reece James at right wing back, Marco Alonso at left wing back. In the middle, Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Then we had Mount and Werner playing just behind Kai Havertz when we started the game. It's an okay team. It is an okay team. It's a good team. It'll beat most teams in that division. Leeds then played man to man on strategically on three of our players. Worked their socks off. They're an understrength side at the moment, but credit where credit's due. They worked their socks off, and that Rafinha was a pain in the neck all afternoon. Really cracking player. Wouldn't look out of place in our side, let's face it, would he? What can I say? Obviously, well done Jorginho, two nicely taken penalties, and well done Marco Alonso and Mason Mount for combining to score that decent goal that Mason got. It was a weird performance, but you've got to put everything into context. As I said before, we haven't got those two defensive midfield players, and unfortunately the people that could fit in there, Conor Gallagher and Billy Gilmore, aren't at the club. They're out on loan. There's not many teams that could miss N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic and play their normal game. On top of that, we've got Chilwell out, so defensively we're not as sturdy at the back with Marco there. And then on top of that, because of the lack of defensive midfielders, we've not got as much of a screen in front of the back three. As I say, Ruben Loftus-Cheek does his best, but he's not a defensive midfielder, and because of that, Mason Mount and Timo Werner drop back a bit. The whole team drops 10 yards because they're allowing for that lack of cover in front of the defence. So that's why we're struggling, folks. On top of that, our £90 million centre forward has been injured, and despite me getting a bit of stick for saying it, I think he has put a few pound on while he's been out injured, and it'll take him a while to get back to peak fitness and peak sharpness. I think he's a great signing still, and as you know, I wasn't a Lukaku fanboy, but I think he'll do a job for us, and I think there'll be certain games where he wins it for us as the winter goes on and then the spring comes. So why all the doom and gloom? Why all the doom and gloom? We've had three pretty poor performances, I'll give you that, but three performances does not a season make. So today, Mendy's getting a 6 from me because he frightened me at times. He needs to get his head sorted out. On the ball, there's one area where he went to clear it and slipped, and I thought, I still reckon West Ham's in your head, mate. Hope I'm wrong. Obviously didn't stand a chance with a penalty. didn't stand a chance with the goal. Although I do like to see my goalkeeper just throw their body. Bonetti in the old days sometimes just threw his body across, and 2 or 3 times that I can remember made spectacular saves just by throwing himself into open space. But he had no chance. But Mendy gets a 6 from me. Aspie put in a decent performance. He gets a 6.5 from me. Worked hard, up against quite a bit of pace down that side, and found it hard at times. But done okay. Sometimes Reece James was so far forward that Aspie got exposed, and that's nature of the beast. I wasn't shocked when Christensen come on and replaced him. And Aspie hasn't had many minutes, so it takes a while. Takes a while at that level to get back into the swing of things. Thiago Silva gets a 7, a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes, but generally pretty sound-footed. One great clearance and one really good block. So yeah, he gets a 7. Rudiger gets a 7.5. Won both penalties. Just, it's a shame he's leaving, isn't it? And he will be leaving. He wants £400,000 a week, and I'm sorry, but we don't break our wage structure for a bloke that's really had 1.5 good seasons. We just don't. You imagine everyone else knocking on the door the next morning if Rudiger got £400,000 a week. If someone's mad enough to pay, he's a great. Don't get me wrong. At the moment, this last season, yeah, half of last season and this first half of the season, I think he's great. But yeah, I wouldn't be paying that. I've got to be honest. So Reece James got booked for that tackle. Not his best of days. Got done a couple of times defensively. Reece James gets a 6.5 purely for the fact that I rate him so highly. I don't think he had his best game today. Alonso gets a 6. Worked well with Mason Mount for the goal. Decent free kick, only probably 2 feet over the bar. Tightly marked. I'm probably being a bit unfair on him because he's very tightly marked. He had that Shackleton was it on him all the time, and then they swapped over and he had someone else. They've really done their own work. They tried to stifle our wing backs and did it pretty effectively, really. Loftus-Cheek, he gets a 7 from me. Always good going forward. He's not a defensive midfielder, and it shows to my way of thinking. Anyway, let me know if you disagree. But did okay. Jorginho, 2 penalties. Always looking to play the ball forward today. Then took the sting out of things when it was needed. I think possibly, if I had to have a Chelsea man of the match, it would be between Jorginho and Mount. Maybe Rudiger into the equation, but Jorginho, I'm going to make him my man of the match today. Got a couple of penalties, tucked him away nice, didn't do anything else wrong, no silly mistakes today, and so with an 8, Jorginho gets my man of the match. Mount gets an 8, put the shift in, scored a goal, always trying, that's all I can say. Havertz gets a 7.5. I think he might not be an out and out centre forward, but he did put the work in. He always looks like he was unlucky not to score. He poked it over the keeper, just saved it. Oh, actually, I've just been a bit. I remember a save that Mendy made, which was pretty decent. I probably should have given him half a point higher. Havertz gets a 7.5. Werner gets a 6.5. He took players with him. He does what Werner does best. He took players with him, created space for other people. Never really looked like scoring though, did he? Not his best of games. But yeah. I think that's the score. So I'm not going to score the subs. Christensen looked decent when he came on. Callum Hudson-Odoi good going forward. We still lack defensively. I still like Chilwell over there. It's a shame he's out. He was just starting to hit some really good form, wasn't he? And then Lukaku coming on. Did okay, but not on very long, so I'm not going to score him. So basically, we scraped through again, and well done the lads for doing that. When I've sort of outlined the other circumstances that we should, as a fan base, be taking into consideration. Now, I don't think Rudiger, Aspie, and Christensen wanting silly amounts of money, more money than he's worth, and in the case of Aspie, a longer contract and slightly better money. But talking to their agents, talking to other people, and like Aspie's talking to Barcelona, presumably, if his agent's telling the truth. Rudiger's his agent just touting him all over Europe. It looks like he's either going to go to PSG or Real Madrid. I don't think, and then Christensen, I don't know what he's doing, but I don't think that can help. I just don't. If I was sitting in the dressing room, I'd be looking across at them thinking, how committed are they? So I don't think that helps either, I'll be honest. But we're still managing to win, so I can't see the point of being depressed. We've got to get behind this team. We know Tommy Tuchel knows what he's doing. We know we got some great players, and when those players come back, and it looks like Cover and possibly Nagolo are going to be back for the Everton game, happy days. Need them back for the Christmas period. Think we'll rediscover our form pretty soon, and the cabbages will go back to the cabbage patch for a while. Only other thing I'd say from this week is the Eden Hazard saga. Possibly going for 40 million. People have been saying you should never go back. He's injury prone. He's this, that and the other. I think for 40 million, if we can get a 30-year-old Eden Hazard back for just 40 million, I personally would snap their hand off to get him. But again, let me know your thoughts. I can't see him wanting to go to West Ham, which I heard. I can't see West Ham being his chosen place of tenure. I think he'd want to come back to Chelsea. And from what I see of our squad, there's half hour to go and you can't break a team down. You tell me a player who you think would be better coming on. I can't think of one. So that's all for today. I'm not downhearted. It was not a great performance. We still had 58% of the possession. We still had more shots than they did. It was a hard fought game. Take me hat off to them, even though I don't like them. They put a proper shift in and they stifled us. But as I say, the real reason that we struggled is because of the reasons I've given you. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Show some love and like the video if you watch it. And if you like it, of course. In fact, press like even if you don't. And let me know what you think. That's the reason that I do these. Thanks for watching. Speak to you after Everton. Up to Chelsea.